Hello students, welcome to the class. In this video, we'll be looking at the text of Unit 2 of Semester 2, which is an essay by Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, and the title of the essay is A Vision for 2020. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam was the 11th President of India. He rose from very humble beginnings. In his childhood, he suffered many things, but yet he went on to study physics and then aerospace engineering, and later on became India's missile man. He was also the recipient of India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. He has written several inspirational books. Wings of Fire is his autobiography, and Ignited Minds are probably the best known. A Vision for 2020, it's an essay, and this is part of his India 2020 document, in which he sets out his action plan to make India a superpower in knowledge and communication technology. Some of the things that Dr. Kalam deals in this essay are: how can India be a developed nation by 2020? He also raises the question of India's rich cultural heritage and how we can actually transform it as a and use it for our national development. He also talks about the India's demographic dividend, that is, the large young population, and how we can actually use that potential. He also mentions the key areas to be tackled to grow into a developed nation by 2020. And he also talks about the combined efforts of all groups of people in the country and how can each one help in this growth. Now, the essay starts with Dr. Kalam's insisting that we should always have a vision. Every person in the country has this desire that India should be a happy, prosperous, and safe place to live. If that is our goal, and owing to India's rich cultural and civilizational heritage, Indians have that possibility to make that dream to happen. And in this context, the nation is more important than individuals or party or any particular religion. Many developed nations only have economic prosperity or military strength. But Dr. Kalam says that India has another addition to that, that is the spiritual strength. And only when these three are together, a country will experience happiness, peace, and prosperity. So, the large religious forces that we have in the nation should be transformed into spiritual forces which can be used for the development of the country. Dr. Kalam then goes on to say that India needs a second vision. The forefathers of India's national development uh, after independence had many visions, and they did take India to a great height. Now, for the first 50 years of independence, we have seen growth in many areas like agriculture and science. But still, a large portion of our population lives under below poverty lines. So, in the last 2 decades, Dr. Kalam mentions that India has emerged as a key player with core competencies in the information and technology spheres. So now India needs a second vision to move on and to make India a developed nation from a developing nation and with a strong economy. So then Dr. Kalam mentions where the world is heading in the 21st century. And this is where India needs to put its eyes and ears focus and needs to grow. In the 21st century, knowledge has become the new capital. It's no more wealth or land, but it's knowledge that is driving people. And people's lives will be more and more enriched by IT driven knowledge systems and products. Biotechnology and nanotechnology are going to take the world by storm, and large scale developments in space technology are happening all over. Dr. Kalam mentions that in the case of developed nations, ICT actually contributes to nearly 78% of their GDPs, and it is only going to grow into nearly 25% in the next few decades. And biotechnology, in spite of India's uh, rich bioreserves like herbs, germ plants, and microorganisms, um, India is very backward into actually converting them into value added products. It has great potential to grow in that particular area. Dr. Kalam and mentions using the 5 year plan, 10th 5 year plan of the Prime Minister, that there are five key areas which are closely interrelated and together which lead for the nation's development. The agriculture and food processing industry, with a target of nearly 360 million tons of food and agricultural products. Now, this is the growth in this area will bring food security and prosperity to rural people and speed up their economic growth. Education and healthcare, if it is aimed at increasing the employment potential, leading to social security, and it will also lead to population control. Infrastructure development, like providing quality power and for all parts of the country, which is vital for every core sector. Information and communication technology, though it is one of our core competencies, we need to be promoting education in remote areas, creating massive employment. And finally, critical technologies like space, nuclear, and defense technologies will provide sustained growth and self reliance for the country. Dr. Kalam envisages, he projects a Pura model, providing urban amenities in rural areas, where he says that in towns living for themselves is not going to help the country. So he considers a model of a ring shaped town merging or having nearly a minimum of 8 to 10 villages in the same area, so that there is a circular connectivity of the rural village complexes with the city. And this will help in creating rural wealth and prosperity and also improve quality of life in the rural areas. Now, then Kalam sir moves into what is the need of the hour. And Dr. Kalam says that young and quality leaders is the need of the hour for India. India, with a population of more than 700 millions below 35 years of age, has a unique core strength as the nation. And if there are young leaders at the helm or leading the country, they can command the change for transformation for not only now but also the next 20 years. He also mentions that quality leaders are like magnets. They can form best teams and they can also give inspiring leadership. And creating visions always ignites young minds in particular. So, what are the qualities of a creative leader? Dr. Kalam mentions that a creative leader is a role changer. He easily accepts the change of role from a commander to a coach, from a manager to a mentor, from a director to a delegator, and somebody who demands respect to facilitating self respect among his people. Unless there are more creative leaders, more chances of becoming a developed India be will become fragile. And Dr. Kalam goes on to mention the different tasks for the various citizens in this big project. The students, teachers, and parents can help in removing illiteracy in the country, in their areas. The government and the research and development labs should provide technological upgradation for the small scale industries. And large scale industries should increase their productivity and quality and compete at the global level. The farming community needs to increase its productivity and also apply new scientific methods for that. He also says that IT and knowledge workers have crucial role to do. They can contribute in telemedicine, teleeducation, and e governance in the rural areas. He also says that the pure model can only be done with the partnership of government and entrepreneurs. The government should also work in this project by their quick decision making and also transparent administration. The media should be a positive critic and a partner. Musicians, poets, and artists can also involve in this by singing the song of a developed India. Right. So this is the summary of the essay, A Vision for 2020 by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In case of any queries, you can contact us at the details given. Thank you. Have a good day.